Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We was gone last week, but now we back again.
Okay.
Yeah, my bro not here. Just know he tapping in.
Okay.
My turn, my truth. What's happening?
All right.
Getting monetized. Yeah, you know, stack the M's.
Let's go.
Yeah, we back again. Yeah, we back again. Yeah,
we back again. Hey, we got Dead Crunk there, y'all. Y'all got to get up for that now. Come on now.
At first, I didn't know if I could get it.
Yeah.
We back again. Getting monetized, you know. Yeah, stack the M's.
Mike falling over there.
Yeah, we're good.
Technical difficulties all around tonight, y'all.
Push the bottom more toward. Yes. Now tip the tip down.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah. Okay.
Got it. Yeah. So right.
Yeah.
Here.
So we good.
Okay.
We in there.
Sir.
What's up?
I like this music right here.
What we
Get a little
doing?
more
What we
crunk.
doing?
I like this.
We getting crunk, man. What's
Okay,
happening?
let's get crunk then.
Okay.
Somebody else got a freestyle.
I ain't freestyle.
Go, Dad.
Yeah,
You got a freestyle.
I feel like I
I don't
could sing
care.
to
I
this,
can
but that's
sing,
all.
Mary. Go ahead. Sing.
No,
rap and
sorry.
sing and rap.
All right. We on now. So we'll give y'all next week. We're gonna have something special for you. We might let it go a little bit next week.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now we might have to write that time. That was off the dome.
I'm just gonna go. I'm
That was
freestyle.
off
I'm
the
freestyle. Man. I'm gonna go with it.
I like it.
All right, so y'all are tuning in to the newest episode of My Turn, My Truth, where when it's your turn, you do what?
Tell your truth.
Right here, you have the Rice Man. Who do I have with me?
Marielle.
Mata.
It's your girl Ken. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at m.kennedii. Y'all know?
All right, so if y'all noticing, we have swapped the family member here right now.
Yeah.
We got Marielle in the house because my son, Mackenzie, is not here, but he is tapping in, like Morgan said earlier.
The freestyle
Yep.
went hard. Went crazy.
It's just rapping you,
Hey,
child.
we keeping it fam. My daughter's here. I got both of my daughters here right now, so I feel real good about it.
Good about it.
So, guys, we were not here last week, as you know. We're going to try to catch up a little bit on some things right here. We got some topics, and of course, in the chats, if y'all are watching, let us know if you want to hear us talk about something. Maybe during this chat, if not necessarily the next time.
You laughing at my freestyle.
Who that?
Kojak.
Oh, okay. So, guys, everybody had a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a good week. It's just starting.
I'm definitely having a good week.
I feel like it's already been a week, but it's only been a Monday. But sorry.
What about y'all out there? Y'all having a good week? Just put a thumbs up in the chat if you're having a good week.
Well, I'm not having a good week
Oh,
because
Lord.
Oh, no.
I am right now trying to pass a kidney stone.
Oh, yeah.
And if anybody knows the easy way to get rid of these things, let your boy know. I'm trying everything. I'm drinking a bunch of water. So my first one I've ever had. So we're going to see what happened. Pray for me. You know what I'm saying? Pray for me.
Please, and me.
Yeah.
So, guys, I think we had, out of the trending topics that we have, unless y'all want to start with something else, I'm going to go ahead and jump off with me.
Jump in.
All right. So we've had another school shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, prayers going out to the families of all those involved. Man, that is hard to hear that it keeps happening this way. We got to do something about that. I just don't know. I mean, when you can't go to school and be safe, I mean, that's an issue, y'all.
Yeah, because you don't want the kids to go to school trying to worry about their safety more than trying to, have their mind on their studies and things of that nature.
Right, because I can't imagine me being in school right now. I mean, I just can't. Anybody acting erratic or sweating, I'm calling everybody on the mic.
Right,
exactly.
People just might be nervous for a test. I'm calling, you know what I'm saying? I'm tripping at this point.
It's getting so bad that even at the school that I used to go to, they were talking about putting metal detectors.
Well,
and parents were like, no, I don't want my kids to feel like they're going to jail. But I'd rather go through a metal detector than
But they go to metal detectors when they go to concerts and football games and basketball games.
Right.
That's fine.
I feel like if it's to protect your child's safety, then if you don't got nothing that's going to go off that you're not supposed to have.
Metal detector come home,
Yeah.
Be
not
alive.
come home.
I was gonna
I
say, I've
mean,
also seen that they're doing like clear backpacks
They
and clear
are.
lunch boxes and things like
Yeah.
that. Like you have to have a
Clear
clear
backpack,
Yeah,
lunchbox,
when
no
Mackenzie
oversized
and Morgan
clothes.
was in elementary school, they had to have a clear backpacks. They couldn't
Yeah.
take a backpack that wasn't clear.
Yeah, I know at daycare too, you have to have a clear backpack.
Yeah, you definitely do.
So at this point, you know, initially to the metal detector thing, I was thinking, you know, years ago, and maybe that's extreme.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have metal detectors at some schools that are prevalent to this type of behavior or gang behavior, things like this. No, at this
Every
point,
school.
I'm saying
across the
every
board.
school needs a metal detector.
Absolutely.
At every entrance, every place that you can enter the
Mhm.
school, you need metal detectors and probably a guard at this point
Yeah.
in time.
Agreed.
I mean, because to go through the metal detector, somebody has to be. It has to be a gate. Like you can't just go in any entrance in the school. You got to be
Right.
funneled into one way or two ways in or whatever like that. So, what do y'all think about metal detectors out there at all the entrances of the school?
Yeah.
I know it may look tacky. It may look like, oh, I'm in a place of high crime, but that's not necessary because a lot of these school shootings aren't in places of high crime.
Right.
Either that or just higher stipulations for getting your hands on a gun and keeping a gun.
Well, in the
We
scenario,
definitely gonna get there.
Yeah,
for sure. We're gonna definitely talk about that topic.
But then in the metal detectors, they don't all look bulky and stuff like they did back in the day. They have some sleeker. I mean, I'm sure the school don't want to spend money just on the look.
Yeah.
But they have some sleeker looking metal detectors. But my thing is, at this point, with the multiple school shootings and concerns and things of that nature, it really doesn't matter how it look long as the child return home.
That's
right. That's what I'm saying. It's worth it.
Yeah, and I know it initially I had read some things about how long it would take students to get in the school.
Yeah.
I mean, if your bus comes at a certain time, you get to the school, everybody's at the metal detector. Some people belt beeping, some people beeping this because they got, this in your hands. It's just going to take, because you got to let them in one at a time at this point.
Yeah, but you just gonna have to you're gonna have to fit it in like anything else.
Right, I find you just got to make it happen.
First period back a little bit.
You either start school earlier to allot for that time, or like Morgan said, push class back, do something. I mean, you rather have that time versus not a child or a mother not having time at all with one another again.
So I know another thing and another concern is because the rest of the schools typically around the doors are locked. Specifically other than the ones that you would be coming in.
Right.
But I know a lot of times and at the school I went to, if you text your homeboy or homegirl, hey, I'm running late, they gonna open a side door.
Did that.
And so that's also dangerous.
That is very
because that could be the person, That's
go back to Dear East Side and have them the doors shamed. Joe Clark had them doors shamed.
Right.
I heard a lot of people saying, maybe they should change the way they do the drills because most of the time the students are the ones shooting it up. So if the students in the classroom, they know how the drill goes. But my reaction to that would be that means you just can't have a drill at all. No, we still need to have a drill.
Right. I get and one of the concerns is, this guy, he got a whole AR-15 style gun in there. That's not a short gun.
Right.
No, that is a large gun.
That's hard to what we call bootleg or conceal.
Right. Conceal.
Let's just say what we know about what happened.
Wait, before we go there, Kojak said, hey fam, I'm good with all that metal detection equipment. Safety is more important.
Absolutely.
Important. And that's absolutely true.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely agree with that. So we know, let's state what we know about this. If y'all can help me, because I don't I'm not reading anything.
Okay. I go.
Okay. Well, I was reading an article. Did you want to jump off or?
I was going to start. So let's start with what we know about. First and foremost, we know that this kid had pinged the FBI, website radar last year in 2023. He had made some statements on a program or platform called Discord.
Yeah, Discord.
And he had made some threats on there at that time. On social media now, for all y'all that don't know, whatever you say on social media, whatever type of words you put together, if you chain together a certain amount of words, like I want to shoot up a school or I'm going to kill somebody, something like that, it takes those word pings to an FBI directory. and they look at those things. So don't think you're on social media hiding
incognito mode
about things, but because you chain together the right set of words or string variables, they will ping the FBI.
And they
will
should.
find your IP address.
Right. They will find your IP address.
And
they will notify local authorities, and they will appear to talk to you.
Right.
And at this time, as I was reading, the guy said, that wasn't him. His page was hacked. He's not the one who said any of that. He's going to close down his page. It wasn't him on his page making online threats. So we don't know what the online threat was. We don't know if it's I'm going to shoot up a school threat, but it was just online threats enough for the FBI to contact local authorities.
I feel like that's the one time you need to go ahead and get them evaluated.
Right. And before we leave that, I have to say, if you ever, they need to teach kids day one in kindergarten. If you go online, because kindergartners go online now.
Absolutely.
Day one when you start school, to say if you make a threat online on any of your social media platforms or whatever, you will not be able to come to school again.
Absolutely.
Ever. I feel like once you
will be home.
Once you make those types of threats online, you have lost your right to go to public school. You can use alternative methods of going to school. You can be homeschooled. You can try a whole lot of different things. But once you make online threats that even insinuate killing people at school, doing something to people at school, harming somebody, any type of threat about school, you shouldn't be allowed to go back at all.
Right.
Ever.
I feel like those thoughts don't just fade away with you getting in trouble. They stay there.
And they progress and get worse.
100%.
And if every grade and every class is taught this one day that you all have to go in and check out that you took this seminar or this class that says anyone making statements online like this, terroristic threats, online threats, school threats, or anything like, you will lose your right to go to school for the rest of your schooling. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
And if you're old enough, i.e. old enough to go to juvie or jail, and you're making these types of terroristic threats, that's where you need to go.
But once you take this class and check off that you went through it, now when you make those types of threats online, you know what you're doing, and you're doing it anyway. At that point.
And at that point, they're just going to do like this young man said that his it wasn't him and it was hacked. I definitely agree with what you're saying. But to get more into the story itself, did you want to add any more to it?
Well, no, I was just saying this kid. So now this kid, we know if he came to school, shot, he killed four.
He killed four, nine were
and
injured.
9 wounded 9. Okay. And we know that now we're finding out. Go if you want to go in that she
got it up.
Okay, so according to CNN, there was a text from the son to the mother. I'm sorry, Mom. And his name is Colt Gray. So that's what he texted his mother on Wednesday morning before shooting up the school. The text was enough to spur Marcy Gray to her son's. So she called the school and she told him, that there was an extreme emergency and to go check on him.
Yeah. Because of the text that she received to go and check on her son immediately.
And if I'm not mistaken, that text was at 9:50
a.m. according to call logs and texts.
And the school shootings were at 10:20 a.m. So you had about 30 minutes from the time his mother called the school and said, "This is an extreme danger, extreme emergency. Yeah. Go check on my son."
Yeah.
And the thing is, the counselor or whoever that she spoke to went to the room to check for the son or for that particular child, and that child wasn't there. And then there was a mix-up with another child that was with a similar name or something like that.
The same last name or something.
So then that child was no longer in the class either. So both ones that they felt like could have been who the caller was referring to was outside of the class, and the school at that point did not shut down the school.
Right.
And then, like Marna said, with approximately 30 minutes after the initial call, here comes the shooting.
All right. So y'all chime in. If mom calls the school, gives you 30 minutes lead time before this guy starts shooting, Is 30 minutes long enough to find anyone in the school?
Absolutely not. Because my thing is, first of all, like
you said, it's not long enough.
I don't think it's long enough. So to me, and when I'm saying I don't think it's long enough, I feel like that child could have been in the bathroom. That child could, and especially if it's a child in this situation, was not in the classroom where they're supposed to be. And depending upon how large that school is, you go run around and trying to find that child versus shutting the school down, because you said that this was what type of threat or what type of emergency?
An extreme emergency.
An extreme emergency.
But I think that once you're going to look for this child,
and I can be talking hindsight.
While looking for the child, I would assume that you would go on lockdown in the midst of looking for the child as well.
For the sake of him not leaving and things like that, if they need him there, then why wouldn't you lock the school down just to make sure that he stays there?
My question to the parents is, an extreme emergency kind of seems like something is going to happen, something bad, because for you to
extreme emergency,
not hey, my son text me, I'm sorry, mom, did he fail a test? What's going on? Right, you knew from exactly just that one text that it was an extreme emergency, not I got in a fight.
We will assume that that's what,
because that's where your mind initially went. It didn't go, you failed a class, you got in a fight, you got kicked out, you got suspended. Your mind could have went to any of that. I'm sorry I got suspended, but your mind went to extreme emergency. So that to me means that something is off here.
But I guess my question now is, where was the follow-up question from whoever she spoke to?
What type of emergency?
Excuse me, what do you mean by extreme emergency?
What type of emergency?
Right.
I think he could hurt someone. I think someone is hurting him. Like we saw the short dialogue.
Right.
But if I'm answering this phone, I'm like, hey, do I need to shut down the school? What do you mean? Do you think it's a potential threat to others? Where was the rest of the dialogue? Because that would indicate whether I put an extreme lockdown on it. And they said that the teachers at that school have these necklaces that are panic buttons, that when they hit the panic button on their necklace, it sounds the alarm off, right? Yeah. So I guess the rest of that phone call, I'm trying to figure out where was the rest of the phone call.
It should have been more dialogue.
Yeah, where's the clarity on the phone call?
But not only should the counselor have asked, the mother should have been more specific. Yeah. Extreme emergency.
And the mother may have not wanted to
rat out her child or whatever,
basically.
But you're telling them to go check on him, so you're ratting him out. Yeah. You're singling him out.
And then not only that, you telling somebody to go check on your child when possibly I don't know what this woman knew or did not know, but you knew something was off. And now that's sending that person that's going to check on that child, that's putting their life in danger as well.
All right.
That was going to be my next question. What happens when they get the child? Then he pulls out the gun and starts shooting the person who came to get him? What happened?
That's one versus...
Yeah, I mean,
correct.
14,
I mean, I understand but you shoot that person
that
runs
back to the dialogue that you were talking about. We need
follow-up questions
again. If the mother, because I'm not going to say that I know what this lady knew or didn't know,
absolutely.
But if she did know more, that would be picked up in that dialogue that you're talking about. So then that person that she's talking to on the other end of the phone would know how they need to handle themselves and how they need to handle the situation, and if they need to call in authorities.
Right. So I would have asked mom.
Right.
I wouldn't have waited for mom to tell me her detail.
Right.
I would have asked.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm in agreement with that.
What kind of emergency? A fight?
Right. So, but back to the 30 minutes, I think 30 minutes is long enough to find anybody in the school if it's an extreme emergency.
And you have...
If she notified other people, then I feel like
you can watch a whole show on TV in 30 minutes,
and then you can say it over because they have intercoms, so
and you can look at cameras.
Call on intercoms and say, "Is so and so in the class?" No, I gave them a bathroom break or
and
whatever.
We're pulling hallway cameras.
I mean, there needs to be some phone in every school on a teacher's desk that when it goes off, a teacher has to answer it, and it gives you a look. Is this guy in your class?
Conversation.
Yeah. We need everyone to know. We need to find this guy ASAP.
Yeah. 100%.
Because obviously the guy went away and got the gun and came back. It doesn't sound like he just walked into school with it that morning.
Yeah.
He either had to stash somewhere where he went to get it and then came back to shoot.
Yeah.
But where did he go get it from?
But then my thing is, and that could have been within that 30-minute time frame. So if he was not where he was supposed to be, then they got to start going in other
absolutely
places to look for this child. And depending upon how huge that school is, so do we think that 30 minutes really is enough? Okay.
Yes.
What do y'all think?
Mom, I actually, that's smart. Mom said, he could have had it outside. Like, he could have ran out, propped the door open, pushed it in the bushes. I still think that's enough time to pull up security cameras. Mm-hmm. We know what time the teacher let the kid out of the room. So I think that's enough time. Yeah. Me sitting in the office and seeing them pull up people and call people to the office because I need to talk to you about this or this. But clearly he had his plan thought out.
It's one of those times that a metal detector if you're you could have propped the door open because you wouldn't think that you should be able to exit and come back in freely just during school.
Right.
But they let kids go out to smoke breaks and everything now, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, some
children have smoke breaks in school.
In high school, you can go out and smoke.
But I do know. Well, the way that the way that my school was when they created a new building was you had to go out to get into our healthcare building. So the buildings to the main building, the doors to the main building into the healthcare building were always unlocked, so anybody really could have walked into school.
Right. So
what y'all think? 30 minutes was enough to look for this young man? Do y'all think that? I want to say hello to a few people, and I want to thank y'all from watching on My Turn, My Truth page. We have, of course, my cousin Kojak. You will see him as Norman on here. We have Destiny Campbell. That is my brother's girlfriend. We have Mike. What's up, Mike Hops? And we have one of our classmates, Adonis Harris. Thank y'all guys for watching.
And another couple of people I want to call out, Casey Cooper. What's up, C. Coop? Pierre Taylor and Cuz. What do we call him now?
Adnan.
Adnan
Hassan. I mean,
Adnan.
Cuz that's what you go get.
All right. So, now let's talk about his access to the gun.
Absolutely.
Because I know Mariella chomping to get there.
Okay, Mary.
Well, I also had heard too, though, that a week before there was an incident happening, which is probably what hinted to the mother. I don't know specifically what happened in that incident, but that probably hinted to the mother that when he sent that text, that obviously there was alarms going off in her head. Like, oh, okay, this is probably the time that he's going to take to do what he wanted to do. So whatever that incident was.
Right. And the granddad said that he had been bullied in school. He was going through a lot because his mom and dad, I guess, not Colt, but his dad. What's the dad name?
I don't.
His dad, his father.
Yeah. And mom were divorcing at the time in the process of splitting up, and he was staying with dad.
Mm-hmm. And his dad bought him the gun.
Right.
Mike said more security is the answer.
Yes, that is definitely part of the answer for absolute sure.
Well, my thing is this. I mean, if you have a troubled child and knowingly that your child has had a hit on the FBI list, 2, I read through the article where he was having homicidal thoughts and suicidal thoughts, and that he rejected therapy. So y'all tried to give him therapy, but he rejected therapy or whatever the case may be. And I feel like at some point it has to be the parent's responsibility, because now you allowing 100%. This unstable child to transition over to a schoolhouse full of children.
Right.
And you are not having, obviously, proper conversations with the schooling staff, the principal, the assistant principal, the counselors, things of that nature, of the status of what your child is dealing with currently. I feel like those conversations, like some type of proactive measures, of course, Mike said security, agree with that, but it's like it got to be other type of proactive measures that you're taking. Like if I have a troubled child, I'm not going to just send my troubled child, because one, I'm going to feel like if he or she act out, then it's a possibility of my child getting hurt. Right. And then for 2, it's a possibility of my child hurting other children. So if he's or she's going to be in that type of environment, then we need to have some adult conversations with the principal, with the assistant principal, with the counselor, with the teachers to say, this is my child's state of mind right now.
Right. And they need to know, look, the counselors, the school need to know my son is being bullied. My child is being bullied.
Right.
So that should initiate right away some counseling sessions from the school that can't be rejected.
Absolutely.
These are mandatory.
Right.
And I know this is
got some comments too.
It's tougher it's easier said than done.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't trying to make it easy.
Oh, you're right.
Easy at all.
Right.
So Adonis said, yes, throw a football with your son instead of hunting / gun. And then Mike said, you can't control the outside life. Got to control what they can control.
Right. And Adonis, I will say this.
I already know where you're going to go because we gun family.
We are gun family.
Yeah.
I taught my children to shoot in their very early teens. Okay. They shot my guns. I didn't buy them one.
And we definitely didn't know where it
when
was.
we went to shoot, because I wanted them to be able to shoot and not be fearful of a gun, not have to be in a situation where they had to use one and was so fearful to use it, they shoot themselves or shoot someone that they weren't trying to shoot or just get injured or hurt or kill themselves because they didn't know how. Okay. It's a crazy world out there. I feel like I'd rather for them to have the knowledge of how to use it and not have to than not have it and need it. You know, it's you know, you try to know your children enough to know. I don't think they'll go grab the gun and go shoot anybody, but
you never know.
But you never know. You know, this guy probably didn't think his son would do this either.
But how old was this child?
14.
So this child was 14, and he bought him a AR-15 style rifle and gifted
right. That's tough. I wouldn't do that.
Gifted him this gun.
Yeah.
So that is all wrong.
Another thing to say that when Dad, as a good parent, we did not have accessibility to his guns, and we didn't know where they were. So it wasn't, we're gonna go get a gun and shoot somebody, because that is like another thing that parents should have. But I want to go right back to Mom's comment about, you know, like having the conversations with the teachers. But if I knew my kid was having homicidal and suicidal thoughts, not just about killing themselves, but killing other people.
Yeah, homicidal is to other people.
I wouldn't send my child to school. I just wouldn't. Where he could be bullied, where he could be pushed to do this, I probably wouldn't send him in a place full of other students.
Right.
That are rude and mean and pig.
I mean, we're
not trying to say that this is an easy, because we're reading an article.
It comes down to some parents don't have care outside of that. If you're working full time,
you're right.
What are you going to do? So I think there's things to be talked about that. I think.
Can I add to this though? As a white woman, as you can tell, most school shooters are white. So I think that this adds to, because at an early age, especially white country people love to give their kids access to guns. Yeah. But also too, though, guns are not normally used against white people, and so they're not afraid of it like that. They don't think of it in the same light that people of color do. And so because of that, it's not like it's just like carefree, like it's a gun, whatever.
Right, I'm gonna get my child a gun.
Yeah, and so I think that has a lot to play into it.
Good point.
And if your kid is rejecting, especially a kid who is being bullied and is showing certain signs, you take them out of every scenario that they're in and you put them in a place where they cannot harm anybody or themselves. So a mental hospital. And I feel like that is just a lack of parenting, a lack on the parent side, excuse me. And I feel like when all of those were shown, they should have immediately pulled everything away. That means any access to phones, things like that. And I'm not telling them like this is how they should have parented, but if your kids are showing the signs and like you're giving them access to that, like you are responsible.
You're
right. So
you're assisting in what's going to come next.
So I guess in that point, where would the resources come from? The parents only, or should the school system provide those resources that parents can call and say, I have one. My child is experiencing some serious issues. I don't think he needs to go. I think he needs another type of care system. Who provides that? You know, I know that you can only go here in Columbus. We have places like the Bradley Center and other places, but that's not a long-term thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so those resources, where are they? Where would they come from? But do we need to make an infrastructure that provides those type of resources.
Yeah, we might need to. That might be, at pushing up taxes, but for safety of, because that could have been anybody's kid or anybody's brother or anybody's sister, mom, dad, aunt. So I think that, we should look into, not even if it's not like a thing, communities can get together and maybe start like a nonprofit organization where we take donations for stuff like that. It just, it's very important because when you send your kid to school, a lot of people don't think of, oh, my kid's not going to come home today.
Right.
Because how did y'all feel about that day at Shaw when me and Mackenzie were texting y'all about a school shooter being at the school?
Yeah.
Like, both of y'all sped to the school. Like, my auntie and my uncle came, but they was already there. Then they checked our friends, our cousins.
Well,
so I know you got a question.
It's few comments I wanted to kind of throw in here. Mike said, well, first Adonis said they are a gun family too. The Harris are packing. I know that's right. And Mike Hop said the father probably thought his son was okay, and then he also said hindsight is 2020.
Absolutely.
And I said that earlier too. My hindsight is 2020 because we're looking at it from the scope of knowing everything at this point. So it is like a conversation on what we thought that could have made the situation better based on what we know. And that's why you heard me saying several times, I'm not going to say what this mother knew or what she didn't know. And I'm not going to assume. However, like Marna was saying, there should be processes in place, especially when you're saying that there's an imminent threat. I mean, I feel like certain buzzwords that are being used, then you need to react to the conversation a tad bit different than a normal go check on my child.
Explain the emergency.
That's what I'm saying.
And then Marielle was going to say something.
I was going to say I agree with Mike on that statement. I also think too that the mother might have been embarrassed, which is why she didn't want to say anything about specifics. But I feel like and maybe she did, and we just don't know about it. But I feel like she could have been embarrassed.
That's true,
I
Adonis.
wanted to respond to Mike when he was saying hindsight is 2020. It is 2020 hindsight, but they already knew some things about their child.
They did.
Like they apparently knew he was homicidal. Right, that's what I'm saying. He had homicidal and suicidal thoughts. This is something that they seemed like they knew already. And like that's
he had been making online threats.
The FBI had dinged the FBI, so they talked to the FBI. How else would he have said that, his page was hacked and everything? You should be monitoring your child at that moment. And I think even if you think that it couldn't have been your child, buying your child a gun with, that in the back of your mind might not have been the best thing to do.
Okay, so that's what Adonis said. He said, I'm not trying to be a Monday morning quarterback here, but if your child is troubled or have issues, your gift of choice shouldn't be a gun.
Right. And they said he'd been hunting with his father. Father also had taken a picture of him with deer blood on his face. Like, when you're in the South and you go hunting. You give your son a gun, a 20 gauge or whatever like that, and you go hunting, depending on what you're hunting for.
Absolutely.
I agree that, hindsight is 2020, but I think most of this conversation is how to prevent the next one. Because we can't prevent this one. This one's done.
It already happened.
It's the conversation around how to prevent these things from happening again. I think we all need to show up at the city council meetings and school meetings. And even if you don't have a kid in school, if you have some ideas that could work, that will be good.
Mike saying, but before that, was it obvious? Mike is really Mike, do you need to call in? Because you really connected to this.
If y'all are saying, I was just going to say, if y'all were saying that parents are saying that you have homicidal and suicidal thoughts, and the FBI, it was on the FBI's radar, then I think that it might have been. I think that it might have been just a tad bit, a little bit obvious.
Again, but if he was able to quell those questions and answer around and say he was hacked and everything like that, it's probably a certain point where they checked on it to a degree and say, I think the kid might be telling the truth. How long do you check? Yeah. I mean,
Mike said, "What's the number?" We don't have the number on there. I don't know it. I'm sorry, y'all. Just 1 second. Might want to call in. I'm trying to get a caller.
Okay. It's our the number we our other line.
The Rice Network.
I don't have that phone number.
I don't have the Rice Network number.
It is.
I think too, though, that when we look at this situation and when we talk about it, we're just over analyzing everything for the sake of, if we see small details that were missed in this situation, we can analyze them and we can see them beforehand and approach a situation like differently than this one was approached.
Right.
Which is why we're talking about it.
So Mike, the number.
I might just tell Mike to call my number. He knows my phone number.
We got it right here.
But you got to go through the prompt.
Yeah.
Okay,
so Mike, just call Bub,
and let me let me Bluetooth my phone to the system.
And he go Bluetooth his phone to the through the computer line so everybody can hear you. So, but just call Martin's number, Mike.
Give me a second, before I tell you to call.
But I agree with that, Marielle. So the thing is, once we, because these things keep happening, and I know that when with my last employment, the Sandy Hook shooting out west was one of our accounts, and this one of my coworkers at the time, she had to see that process through with paying out benefits and different things of that nature, just speaking with the HR and payroll directors, forgiving premiums, things of that nature, because of the time, that particular school was having. And it's like, that was such a long time ago. I'm not even with that employer anymore. And that was like, probably 15 years or so ago. And we're still having these same type of conversations. Yeah. So as Marielle was saying, when we have these type of things that are going on, it's like, now we need to try to dissect and assess what's really going on, and what type of reform or what type of proactive measures can we put in place at home and at school to make sure that every child returns home safely. Yeah. Because that's the thing, when you have these type of children that are disturbed for whatever the reason is, okay, there go Mike.
I think too, deep down, you just know.
Mike Hop, you on the air. What's up, man?
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, man.
What's up? Good to hear your voice.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say I enjoy y'all show, and I'm glad y'all on here, and I really do appreciate it.
Man, thank you, bro.
And I love y'all for doing this, and I look forward to it on Monday. I swear to God.
Man, appreciate it, man.
Thank you. We love you too, Mike. Always have.
So go ahead. What you want to say?
I want to go back to the school shooting and everything what y'all talking about, like as far as prevention and everything that what other people could have done to prevent this school shooting. I really, honestly, man, I don't see like the school. I know the boy had been in trouble, and I know the FBI had been alerted to him the year before and everything, but I really don't think it's nothing nobody could have done before the crime had happened.
Mm. Yeah.
Well,
not before the crime had happened. Not before it. It's easy to look at it after the crime had happened.
It is.
They say what you could have done after the crime had happened. But as far as prevention and trying to protect people, the only thing you can really do, and like I said in my comments, is security.
Yeah, that's number one.
Absolutely.
You got to stop it while it's happening, because you can't really prevent it before it's happened, because you don't know what's going on in nobody's mind.
Right. Because
you don't know.
Because people can tell you they're okay and they're not okay.
100%.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
But I think something needs to be said about, what's too extreme by the school. If you got a guy that you've heard make some online threats, he's having some problems at home. He's had homicidal or suicidal thoughts. And suicidal thoughts. Do you allow him to stay in the school at all? One of the preventive things that could have happened, was he to be taken out of school, and there needs to be another. I know we had alternative school, we had other kinds of school, but he could have been taken out of public school.
But then it would just happen at the alternative school.
You're right about that, but look how the world going today with lawsuits. If you take my child out of school, and he ain't did nothing yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They gonna try to sue the school.
That's a lawsuit waiting on you right
But
now.
if you have stipulations, if your child ever does this, made online threats, had this and this and this, these check boxes, your child will be taken out. You know that that needs to be a disclaimer that you check and sign when you check your child in the school, which will prevent some type of lawsuit. But again, you're right. The hindsight is 2020.
100%.
We looking back at this in retrospect, thinking what we would have done, but I do think there's some things that could have been done.
But as far as him being in the school with the gun, I understand what you're saying. There's not really anything that could have been done once he got the gun in the school, except for was to kill people. So
the like how I said, the key right there is to prevent the child from getting the gun in the school
before he gets inside of the school.
And so that goes back to the metal detectors and things of that nature, and to making sure that all of the other doors are locked and consistently stay locked throughout the day. So people won't have free access in and out or guarded throughout the day, so that children won't prop those doors open to bring weapons and stuff into the school.
Right. And I know that's going to come with a cost, Top. I know that with the metal detectors, there's somebody there, that an armed guard that needs to be standing there with a wand. You know, you beep coming through this thing. Now you got to come over here to me, and now I got to wave you up and down. I know it's going to be a cost to every school. It needs to be added to the budget. I mean, I understand it, but if we want to get this right, it's going to be a cost for them.
Well, and I mean, that goes back to what I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, y'all right. Because, I mean, for real, if you really want to prevent it for the government, they got the money to spend on the resources to make sure that these school shootings and these tragedies at these schools don't happen anymore. The money's out there.
It is.
But, like, I mean, just looking at it from retrospect, like we're looking at it right now after it happened.
Right.
After it didn't happen. It's kind of messed up to kind of judge it on what could have been done, because what we look at afterward, it really don't matter. It really don't matter. If you look at what happened after the fact and say what could have been done, of course, we're going to find the right answer.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we still have, but, you know, I mean, they can do that, but disagree the country. And these folks ain't ready to spend no money on nothing like that. They're trying to make the right thing right. So
I just think now school shooters aren't isolated anymore.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, we've had so many that
they're becoming
something has to be done. I understand on one side of the political spectrum, they don't want to get rid of guns. And one side does. So it's political now. It's been politicized. And now as we're talking about getting rid of guns, you know, and people got to understand, one side of the aisle says we don't want to get rid of guns. We want to get rid of AR style guns, assault rifle type guns. Keep your handguns, keep your other guns, but we need to get rid of on the streets assault rifle type guns. And I thought about that because I have several, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, what if the law passes and they get rid of AR style guns? What am I going to say about it? I am a Second Amendment person, but I feel like if everybody else has to give up their ARs, I mean, they need to pay me for mine. I'm just going to give them something I done paid thousands of dollars for.
You know what? It's a trip, man, knowing you all my life. And I have the same type of guns and everything. But I have to look at it from the reality perspective and everything. I'm not going to get rid of my guns, period, as me person, because my guns ain't never shot nobody.
Right.
And I was going there. I was going to go
there. Guns don't kill
go
people.
Ahead.
People kill
people.
people.
I was going to go right there.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what I'm going to say right now. So you can't really look at it that people killing people. So the guns ain't the problem. It's just like a knife.
Well,
a knife will cut you.
Right.
If a knife will cut you if it's in the wrong hand.
Right.
But you leave a knife alone, it ain't gonna jump up the cut.
I think the issue is with AR style guns, and I've talked to a couple of police officers. I thought about this. The reason why I would never give up my handguns, but the reason why if everyone else was giving up their AR, I would give up mine, even though they're gonna still be black market ARs on the street. And I just never want to be at such a disadvantage with somebody with one, and I didn't have one.
Right.
But if I'm thinking about it, the problems that cops have with AR style guns is the capacity and the power. If cops are called to a scene rounds. And I got an AR style gun,
right.
I know you got 30 rounds, and if you reload, you got another 30 rounds, right? So that's different than facing somebody with a handgun.
Correct.
I know that handgun, I can hide behind this wall, depending on the handgun, not if it's a 44 Magnum or something crazy, but if I hide behind this wall, I'm good. With an AR style gun, you probably still get shot, and you still get killed, and he got 30 rounds. These are big bullets. These are death bullets. You get shot with a 9mm 45, your chances of living is much better than getting shot with AR. So I understand why they don't want you getting called to a crime and somebody got an AR. That's a different type of place to go to, knowing that they got that kind of capacity. I think that's the scary part, that how many people can you kill with an AR versus your handgun?
Absolutely.
Well, we already know that.
So...
Okay. I've seen your point. I definitely see your point right now.
So Adonis said, really tougher gun laws only makes it difficult for good people to get them.
Right.
Bad people don't care about the laws.
That's right.
That right there.
Because they gonna still get
all
them.
That part.
That part. Whether they make a mandate to get rid of all ARs, they gonna still be in the street, and bad people gonna have them.
And then we gonna be at a disadvantage. So that's why it just needs to be more law centered around gun purchases. I mean, of course, you have your extensive background checks. You need to look and see if more law centered around. What's going on? Okay, you need to make sure.
Check this out. I'm finna go back to my turn, my truth. I appreciate the call, man. But
thank you.
I'm
you
going
for
back online,
in.
I'm going back online and look at it for real, and everybody else need to do what I do. You need to log on to my turn, my truth on Facebook and everything else.
Shut us out,
and look at my family and stuff like that. And I love y'all.
I love you too,
what
bro.
Y'all do.
Love you too, bro.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate you.
But Adonis made a good point, because and Marlon, you were saying the same thing as far as we giving up our guns, and then there's people that don't care, not going to abide by the laws.
And I'm at a
then now I'm at a disadvantage if I really need that type of gun. So I don't know. It's just like we're going to have to really put our heads together, and then we as people that are voting, we really need to come together and discuss these type of issues. And then the voting choices that we make, we need to push this stuff on up so that we can make a difference. I mean, I don't know how big of a difference we will make, but
if we need to
at least try.
Absolutely. And I think another thing that the school should do is, and I know people are going to hate me for saying this, because if I was in school, I would hate me for saying this. Bring back school uniforms. Because I seen people at Shaw wearing trench coats. Like, I'm not going to lie, once all these school shootings started happening, I'm not walking by nobody who got on a trench coat. I don't know what you got in there.
What are they called?
Then wear a regular coat.
I'm with you.
Not something that can hide an AR-15.
Right. We were at Shaw, they start saying you can't wear no plain colored shirt because it's game related. You can't wear a headband because you can hide something. Females, with your purses, you can hide something in there. Your purse got to be a certain size, got to be clear, got to be a school sanctioned bag that's see-through.
But they didn't want y'all to wear scarves either, because they felt like y'all can hang yourself.
Yeah, they didn't want us wearing anything. No oversized clothes. But then it went to now. You never know with these types of weapons. What if I play an instrument? What if I play the cello? I could take it in my cello bag. That's big enough bag. What if my viola, violin?
When they wave the wand across it, and you have to open it up, we'll know if it's a horn in there or a gun.
Absolutely. Exactly. I'm just saying,
security.
If there wasn't security,
right.
There are steps that we could take to this, because I know that with certain bags and certain instruments, you can get one with a clear face on the top that you can see inside of it if we don't want to do that. And we had laptops. So the only thing that we really were allowed to bring at that point was a laptop bag.
Well, let's get to the parents.
Absolutely.
We know that he's been charged with giving up to a cumulative total of about 180 years.
I'm sorry.
What?
Adonis told Morgan to stop giving them ideas.
I don't think that any serial killers or anything like that.
You don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
That's right.
Why are we teaching our kids that this is an option?
Right.
Or why is it made an option?
What you wear to school or
no, like that killing people because of your emotional trauma.
Well, I don't think we're teaching them that that's okay. I just think that we have to get to the root of it. And y'all gonna hate what I say. It's the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to D1. One of the rappers was saying he's not the typical rapper. He was saying that, all right, guys, we know when y'all first got to the music industry, you made your first album, you were trapping and killing and moving weight and doing this and doing drugs. But now you 5 albums in, you almost a billionaire and you still talking about trapping. We know you're not trapping no more. You're not shooting anymore. You live in Beverly Hills. Your kids go to a private school. But we are a victim to what we listen to, guys. Mm-hmm. And I know we grew up on NWA and all the music and everything like that, but at some point it's killing us, bro.
Absolutely.
Well, I think
TV shows, a lot of TV shows, movies, music. It is literally killing our kids. These kids are playing Grand Theft Auto and all these first-person shooter games, listening to the music, playing the first-person shooter games, listening to the music. Now they feel like, I've been shooting on this game. I can do this. I'll do somebody like this for real.
I'm going farther than that because, it is that in conjunction with it. Still, we don't moved away from truly it take a village. It really takes a village to raise a child, to raise children, to raise a community. Because when we were in school, we may have NWA and all of that, but we also had our parents that were like super involved in our lives. Right. And if they weren't super involved in our lives, our coaches were super involved in our lives. Our teachers were super involved in our lives. And it's like that type of connection is no longer there. Right. People call their mom on their teachers now and they'll be like, what the H you saying to my child, this, that, and the other. Whereas our parents would be like, hearing them out and trying to figure out what's really going on and giving us the side eye like I'm gonna beat your butt when we get to this dang on house. We don't have that type of upbringing anymore. Right. So I feel like that is in connection with it as well.
And I think that's what I was meaning by when I was saying, why are we giving it an option? Like, I feel like these kids can do whatever they want. Like, especially as a white person, like I feel like white parents sometimes they just let their kids talk to them however they want without getting slapped. I mean, my parents did not do that. They slapped me if I said if I looked at them wrong. They slapped my face if I looked at them wrong. But I feel like nowadays too, like I said, it's just looking at it. I don't know how these parents just let their kids do whatever they want.
I was gonna say that. We had parents that I wouldn't even think about doing this because I think my parents gonna somehow know that I thought about it. Like I'm gonna get in trouble. Like it's a healthy fear. That fear is not in children anymore. And we had, like she said, it takes a village. If they wasn't there and we saw one of their friends, you better run and hide because you best believe they're gonna go tell Marlon Mata what they just saw. Mm-hmm. So that means if their parents saw it, then my parents saw it. And if her parents over there seen it, then I'm telling your mama and your daddy. All of them don't know about it. Everybody
because my girl
gets on to you.
Keisha, Burns now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when Morgan was in middle school, Keisha graduated with me and played in the band with us. So when Morgan got called to the office, when Keisha was principal, she was like, I'm sorry, Keisha, I'm just saying your name all over this, but I'm sure you don't mind. She was like, do I need to call Mata and Marlon? See, that's the type of mentality that I'm saying that take a village. When you look at somebody's child and you recognize, I know your parents and I'm going to call your parents. It no longer exists like how it did back in the day, in my opinion.
My mom and dad gave our godparents and also certain parents the ability to spank us if we did wrong. So
right. Yeah. Now we got to understand that some things have changed. Know you check your kids' Facebook and Instagram page and all these Twitter pages and all this stuff right here. and they have other pages.
It's more accessibility. They have more accessibility, of course.
I mean, it's tough to monitor everything. Most parents these days have to work long hours to kind of match the economy and try to live right, have a decent life. So it's not easy, but it's doable.
Not.
It is not easy, but it's doable. And I think that they're going to make an example out of this guy, his father.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
him.
And that's the sad thing about it.
But that'll give other parents to know that if my kid kills somebody, this is gonna happen to me. You should be more involved in. And it's bad because he didn't shoot anyone, but he
provided the weapon.
He bought a minor AR style gun,
and his laws against that. So you broke the law either way.
So that right there is tough.
Because I think when I was reading, it said that he was going down for manslaughter.
Yes.
So the lesser of the homicide charges, but yeah, they're absolutely going to make an example out of them, and that's why I was saying it take a village. So if your village is not there when you do something wrong, now we're going after your village to punish them too.
However, I think a lot of it too is how much time parents spend with their kids, because you would know, you would see 100%. Certain signs if you just spent time with your child. Like my dad and my mom, they would check us out, take us to eat lunch during our lunch period, and then take us back to school. So I think
don't remember doing that.
Well,
okay.
my dad,
I didn't do that.
My dad did, or she came to
I will bring lunch.
She came to my school and ate with me. She came with my school and ate with me, and sometimes I went to work with her, and we ate lunch at her job. But I spend a lot of time with my dad, and I spend a lot of time with my mom. So I think that with them spending enough time with me, that if something was to be off to that extent, I think they would be able to catch it maybe before parents that might be going through a divorce may not be spending, or parents that might not be spending as much time with their child. Like there's more signs that you could tell the more you're around your child, because you would know them more. I hope I'm explaining that correctly.
I agree. Yeah.
Maybe just, so you can see the signs more, because they know how I act. So if I'm acting off, they know.
Or you have an open line of communication. And I know a lot of children probably don't like to talk to their parents about certain things, but the four of us are really close, now 5. But we came up where, we wanted them to be able to talk to us about any and everything, and I'm not trying to say my kids perfect, because by far they are not, because it's some stories, y'all, that I can tell you. However, and I know that they didn't tell us everything because they're children,
Right.
But they knew that they can come to us and talk to us, and we would not necessarily, more so him than me, because I would lash out. but for the most part, they felt like they can come and talk to us about things before it got to.
She would be more like, she wouldn't take the logical thoughts.
Because you have to tell me to think about it.
Right.
So, but they would come to us and tell us before things got to such a bad spot that we can't help them out of.
And another thing I don't think we addressed in this way, we've talked about if your child is having these thoughts and everything like that. But on the other hand, I feel like if your child is caught bullying and it's provable, your child need to be taken out of school. Like these bullies are creating some of these instances, these things. The constant harassment, the bullying, the talking about them, the laughing at them, the pointing at them, talking about their income levels and this type of thing and this type of thing. So uniform won't help that. But I'm just saying that if your child is caught bullying, provable, online bullying, at school bullying, people come say, yeah, dude, he do be messing with him. He said that kind of stuff. You pull him in, your child got a couple of strikes. And they need to be out of school. We have to get the bullying element. You're never going to be able to erase it completely.
Right.
But bullies need to know that they are, also at a point where they could be taken out of school for this. And I know that there is a certain level already that if you bully to this extent, you're going to be suspended or taken out. But I mean, we got to do something to these bullies, man.
I said when it happened to me in our group chat and I came to my mama crying, nothing happened. They were still able to do everything that they was allowed to do. you know,
Mhm.
thankfully I didn't turn into a school shooter, but
the thing was, you were able to come to me and talk to me
Absolutely.
about that situation, and you did not hide the fact that that was happening to you. And I think that's a lot of the issue as well. That a lot of these children,
you can't express
They bottle
it.
exactly,
up, right.
they bottle it up. They don't have nobody to talk to, and then it being up being an explosive moment.
Yeah, because I was on the slap the toughest one mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one with the most mouth.
Absolutely.
Take that one out.
And I was like
Don't take me seriously, but I did say
no. I was on the if you can't handle it, coach, I will handle it. That's the level I was on.
I was down with beating up parents.
Okay.
And you definitely made. I mean, y'all made them feel safe though, like they felt like they were,
Right.
you know, going to be taken care of. Also, too, I wanted to bring up the statistic too of like how men cannot express their emotions. Like it's not manly to express emotions or whatever. And most school shooters are men.
Right.
I also have a contrary side of that on the white side of that, but
because men don't bluff.
Right.
Yeah.
Like more men that try to commit suicide get it done more than women because they're gonna be extreme with it. But yeah, like she said, guys don't tell their emotions.
Yeah.
Like
and then it
like they should.
Yeah. I think now with the way that this society is, and the way that, you know, it is a more sensitive society than I guess when y'all were growing up.
100%.
We
you can't
are
say
definitely
anything.
more sensitive.
No,
I feel like it should
counseled.
be mandatory that all children go through some type of counseling at school, even if it's 10 minutes a day. I'm gonna get you on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
10 minutes a week.
10 minutes, right? A day, a month, something that, you know, that they have to go through, everybody, because, you know, you just never know that. Exactly like you said, his parents was going through a divorce, and then pack that on with bullying, boom, that just.
And then pat that on that he already had homicidal and suicidal thoughts. So this child was already mentally disturbed, and they tried to seek therapy for him, and he refused therapy or something like that.
A lot of these kids are loners now. They play video games. They don't have social skills.
A lot of them
to talk and play with other kids.
Don't know how to,
When they get home from school, they play video games all day. They get back to school, don't know how to interact with other people. They have no social skills. So if you get talked about and you don't talk to anybody, I mean, it's like tragic to you. It's like, you know, oh my God, you know, I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And that's
so the moral of this of this episode is, y'all out there who have children, please talk to your children. Pay attention to what's going on with your children. There are signs that are there. Don't be too busy that we can't pick up the signs of what's going on with our children. Adonis said it, as far as, you know, fathers and sons go out there in the yard, play football, you know, make some type of connection where your child is able to come to you or feel comfortable enough to come to you and let you know. They may not tell you everything, but they'll tell you enough so that you can try to help intervene, hopefully. And if not, just we need some type of like mentorships or something going on with these children. And we really need to talk about, like Mike said, it's hindsight, you know, it's 2020 to look at this particular scenario, but we really need to like put our heads together and try to think of some things that we can do to help really solve. I mean, I know we won't solve it, but to just better put our hands around this type of thing, because some people, they don't get to wake up and see their children off to school now. It's permanent lifestyle changes.
At one point I was going to say, get with your school system, your school, and find out what kind of security measures your child's school has.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put enough, you bang the table enough, there'll be metal detectors and officers at exits and entrances of your child's school. Sometimes, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, that we say. So you got to be the squeaky wheel. If you're quiet, you're not going to get any attention.
Absolutely.
You have to be the squeaky wheel to get the grease. So
keep going.
Oh yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I know we're at an hour and 4 minutes now. So last thoughts.
My last thought would just be, you know, On the other spectrum, if you have a friend that you know is getting bullied, that you see signs of, because friends see signs too. If you see something, say something. Say something to an adult, their parent, the school, something. If you see a child being bullied, say something. And talk to your kids and teach them not to be bullies. Your children are bullies because a lot of y'all are bullies.
Ooh.
I like that.
Stop.
I want that shirt.
Something.
If you see something, say something. I like that.
Okay, so mine's not gonna be on this subject because we said it a lot.
We done beat the horse to death now,
and I'm scared to say what I want to say, so I might I can't save it. So, what y'all think about the episode of Power? Oh, I'm sorry, I had
we done opened up a new tangent. Another hour.
But quit. And if y'all haven't seen it, then y'all might want to hop off because it's going to be some spoiler alerts. But you should have seen it because it came on a Friday. So you should see it. I'm just talking about this this episode that came on.
So you want to talk about this because this going to be another little minute.
No, we're going to say just short.
Or we can throw this snippet in and come back next week when
but then it's going to be two. It's going to be 2 episodes at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
trying
to get
episode.
in. Okay, so we're going to do another episode.
Let's have a Power episode. Yeah.
Let's do a midweek
We're going to do Wednesday episode, y'all, to talk about Power. We said midweek.
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay, Thursday.
Bible study.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bible study. Okay, I'm sorry. Thursday, y'all. We're going to come on at 8:30 Thursday. This Thursday, and y'all know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Power. Before the one come on Friday, we're going to talk about this last Friday.
It's going to be Power Day, so think up your thoughts about Power.
Marielle, last thoughts? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well.
All right. Oh, wait. One more thing. Let me know if y'all want me to drop that album. Because my freestyle went hard. My freestyle went hard at the beginning. Next time somebody else got a freestyle. Mama, you.
Last.
I vote
last. What you got, babe?
I got
you want a freestyle? You so messy. You so messy. You see how they stick together.
That's my dog.
Hey, we'll see y'all next week. If y'all have any comments on the types of security measures that we could implement, it will be good to talk about, and I'm going to take them somewhere. I'm going to find a council member. I know our city council member for our zone. I'm going to get in contact with them.
Absolutely. And
we're going to have a conversation.
I can let y'all know about the city council meetings.
That's right.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby girl.
I work for the city.
Honey, she got the plug.
Hey,
y'all both our children work for the city.
And son, if you're listening, we love you, bro.